Do you want to know why relationships don't work in 2025? Now, I could be wrong, but everyone is addicted to attention. Everyone is terrified of just being vulnerable. And I think talking stages somehow are safer than commitment.
One of the biggest challenges in relationships in 2025 is learning how to disagree without disconnecting. I don't know if that makes any sense, but disagreements don't always have to end in distance, which they do most of the time nowadays. You have to listen to understand and not just to respond. The goal is to make sure that you're staying on the same team, even when you're not on the same page, you know? And the ultimate goal is resolution. It's not winning. It's not coming out on top. It's not proving them wrong. It's listening, understanding, and resolving as a union. And I think that's a big struggle now.
It's hard to meet somebody out in real life because where do you meet them? You know what I mean? Like, you really have to be at the right place at the right time. And apparently the universe has not wanted that for me. It's so good. I'm like thinking I should just really commit, like truly commit to deleting the dating apps and not do a detox and just be done. But I think there's some fear that comes with doing that because at the same time we're trying to adjust to the times, right? Like, it's 2025. How else are people meeting? I think it'd be so helpful if everyone that's in a relationship could make a TikTok and let us know how you met. I just want to know. If it's a Hinge story, I want to know more details. Actually, no matter what, I want to know more details because it's hard meeting people nowadays. We're a little bit more antisocial. I think the older you get too, the more stuck in your bubble you are. Like, I spend my time alone with my family or with my friends. You realize how little time you have, how little free time you have. And I think when that like dawns on you, when you're like, oh, I need to be more intentional with how I spend my time, you're less apt to spend time with people that you don't know if it'll be worth it. What I mean by that is obviously you have to take risks, meet new people, etc. I get it. However, when you have like one night off during the week and you haven't seen your friends, you're gonna make plans with your friends because that's a meaningful relationship in your life that you want to maintain. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to see your friends as opposed to a hit or miss first date. So that's where it gets a little tricky, where when you become more intentional with your time and when free time feels more rare, you don't want to just gamble away that free time with somebody that could suck or somebody that could feel like a waste of time, you know? That's my afternoon TED Talk.
In 2025, I'm dating for money, not love. I'm sorry. I'm dating for money, not love. I have always entered relationships with like a 50-50 mindset. Like, I'm always ready for like equality, even though there is no equality because we live in a patriarchy. So why am I acting equal? Sorry. I've never ever thought that I would be the type of person who would want to date someone for money, but dating for love isn't working. I'm not enjoying myself, and transparently, inflation is crazy. I only have a few good years left in me. Like, I am going to use them for what they're worth.
This has to be an all-time high, people reaching out to me about dating and how it's impossible in 2025. People are not getting success in the dating market today. And I don't blame them because you're not taught how to date. There's no formal education in class or in college of this is how you approach a relationship. And on top of that, the dating market is always changing. So what do you do? Most people rely on their friends and families to give them guidance on dating. And the reality is their friends and families typically don't have the best relationships out there to model off of. And the data shows it. We have a declining rate of marriage. We have an increasing rate of divorce, almost at 60% for certain states in America. We have an increasing rate of infidelity in the first 6 months of a relationship, which is very, very odd because this is the honeymoon phase where things are not supposed to be bad. Things are supposed to be perfect. Over 50% of Gen Z men are not dating, meaning that they've removed themselves out of the dating market and said, it's too hard, it's too difficult, I don't want to date. And as a result of all this, people are miserable, people are sad, because people need companionship and people are struggling to find it. What do? When everyone is failing, when everything is going bad, what do? Does that mean that we should just not date anymore? The answer is no. There are still people out there that are winning in their relationships. There are a lot of people out there that are still finding love and partnering. And I'm gonna tell you something too. Those people that are finding love and winning in their relationships are also winning at life. The quickest way to become a millionaire is to marry one. The quickest way to better your life is to marry somebody that is better at life than you are and partnering with someone to help you grow towards your goals. Most people don't understand that two is always going to be better than one. My unsolicited advice to everybody out there is to get a dating coach. This is not a plug-in for me. Get someone that you trust, get someone that you know can do a good job, and get someone to hold you accountable in your dating because You're not going to be able to always win by yourself. And this goes for anything in business, in life, in fitness, in health. People have personal trainers, people have business coaches. Why not get a coach for dating when dating is arguably the most important decision that you'll ever make in your life? The person you marry has a large level of influence on you, so get someone that can help you find the highest quality individual that you can attract. And get someone that can help you attract higher quality individuals by working on yourself, your traumas, your baggage, and the things that you need to work on.
I'm going to give you the only relationship advice you're going to need in 2025. These are my credentials, all right? Listen, if you're talking to someone and you've been on 1, 2, maximum 3 dates and they're not trying to lock you down, they're not trying to wife you up, they're not trying to make an actual move to make it serious, then you're fucking wasting your time. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy. Please, stop getting dragged along in these stupid ass relationships that are not taking you anywhere. You're wasting your time, your energy, you're wasting your soul on these pointless relationships. Listen, all that shit's fucking garbage. Don't waste your time with junk, bro. Get someone that actually wants you, and they'll make it soon. And trust me, when a guy wants you or anything, they'll make it obvious within the get-go. They won't play you along. Even guys who talk to girls, if they're just playing with your feelings, khara bullshit, this, that, do you know what I mean? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Please, trust me. Don't waste your time and energy. Focus on yourself. When the right one comes, they'll make it serious. Boom, boom, boom. Khalas, good to go. You guys are living in Delulu land. I don't know if you're still not getting over your exes. I don't know what the fuck it is. But listen, it's only advice you need. If they want you, they'll have you, they'll make the effort. That's all you need to know. Khalas.
Let's do a little thinking with our brains instead of our private parts. Okay, I'm gonna break this down real quick.
If you're in your 20s, go hook up with that person you shouldn't be hooking up with. Dating in your 20s is messy. Now is the time to give in to the urges and desires so that later on you're not resenting yourself or
Or we could, hear me out for a second, have some self-respect and not do that. Your body is a treasure, and not everybody deserves to have the key to that chest, if you get what I'm saying. When you do the deed with someone, that is the most physically and spiritually intimate that you can be with another human being. This is not something casual. This is not something to just be messy about. This is something that is incredibly serious and precious and special. I got married at 20. My husband is the only person I've ever slept with, and in my opinion, that is a total flex. With that being said, when I ask older couples for marriage advice, and especially before I got married, their advice was to protect myself, to value my body, to value myself, to not just give myself away. Because as much as you think it's fun and cute now, it's the same way as eating a bunch of sugar every single day. That's going to catch up to you in the future. It's going to affect all of your future relationships if you choose to participate in hookup culture. We can even see that online with couples who get messy, right? If they sleep around a bunch with other people before they end up getting together, it always ends up catching up to them and it always ends up being messy. Girl, it's going to catch up to you too. And I'm not saying this to judge anybody who participates in hookup culture, but I'm just warning you now that the pleasure that you're feeling now is not going to be there in the future. It's going to be regret. I've never met anybody who looked back and was like, wow, I wish I would have slept with that guy who saw me as a booty call. They're always so thankful that they stayed away from that nasty man. 2025 is the year of self-respect, okay? Let's stop participating in hookup culture because in the long run, it does more damage than good.
The biggest reason why some relationships fail. I'll be completely honest, the biggest reason that I've seen that actually affects relationships is mental health. Whether that's yours or whether that's your partner's. And I'll give an example. Like, I feel like sometimes people be carrying like this baggage, like this trauma from like past relationships or from their childhood, and they don't realize that they're bringing that into the relationship. Some people really don't take the time to heal from these things and actually work through their behaviors and why they react the way to things or why they do certain things. And instead of fixing them before getting into a relationship, they kind of just go into one and then be toxic. A lot of this abandonment type of attachment, anxious style attachment, whatever, comes from childhood trauma, like literally. Especially overthinking and being insecure also comes from that most of the time. So if you struggle with any of these things, really it's all a mental issue, because realistically you're fine, you're healthy, you're whole, like everything you need is within you. So if you're struggling with these things, actually take the time to know like why you react like this or why you do these things. And if your partner is like this, tell them, like actually communicate and tell them, you know what, like when you do this, it's affecting me this way, or when you do that, it makes me feel this way. And if they don't change or they don't think that anything is wrong, the best advice I can give you is just move on. Because it's not your job to be, you know, Miss Fix-A-Hoe, Mr. Fix-A-Hoe, Captain Save-A-Hoe, whatever. Like, everyone is in charge of their own healing and their own growth. But if they're willing to put in the effort and actually change and grow with you, then give it a try. So please, please, please take care of your mental health and don't let your baggage become someone else's.
Social media causing you to not really know who's sliding in her DMs, right? You don't know who you're up against thanks to the DM. Well, it's creating this of popcorn brain, of inconsistency, of waking up every day wanting somebody different, because we're so accustomed to variety. And almost everyone that that is, we'll just say socially skilled enough or attractive enough to go out there and hook up with people and meet people, almost all of them are racking up some pretty high notch counts, right? They're out there, they're sleeping around, they're doing their thing just for the pleasure of it. And here's what we're looking at, right? With all the programming, all the stuff we've talked about, we're in this situation where for a large percentage of men, they are just damned if they do, damned if they don't. And we got to be honest about it, because here's what I mean. If they over pursue, meaning they put too much effort into trying to attract a woman or have a relationship with a woman, they're going to push her away. Like 90% of the time, they're going to push her away. Because the woman is so used to variety, she doesn't want the restraint of being caught up in a relationship with this guy anyways. And, if he over pursues, he's going to push her away. And then you have this kind of faux alpha male, fake RP awareness movement going on that's like telling guys that women only want a man that puts in zero effort, and women only want a man that acts like he's like too good and he's like doesn't need her and has whatever, right? But here's the thing. When these guys try that, they push her away. So too much effort pushes her away. Not enough effort pushes her away even faster. She just forgets all about you and moves on to somebody else.
If you're in your 20s, go hook up with that person you shouldn't be hooking up with.
Welcome to the Destruction of Relationships by yours truly. Imagine sitting your daughter down when she's 20 years old, letting her know that it's okay to throw it back while listening to WAP, and not warn her about all the neurological issues that she's going to be dealing with when she's 30 years old. Trauma.
Your 20s is about learning crisis management, and your 30s is for crisis prevention.
So, let me date dysfunction, collect soul ties, and emotionally wreck myself now, and then fix it when I'm older.
Everyone I know is hooking up with someone they shouldn't, and we need to stop feeling bad for it.
Your friend group is the main reason why dating feels like trauma now. No boundaries, no healing, just dopamine on repeat, without regret, avoiding attachments, anxiety, trust issues.
Who cares? We're all gonna laugh about it. We're all gonna die one day.
Yeah, but can I die with self-respect?
So, you're really beautiful. But do you know how to set boundaries? Yeah, you got those gym pics and you look freaking fantastic. But do you know how to calm your anxiety and know that he is a byproduct of what you're used to, not the thing that you need? Yes, you could turn up and a lot of guys think you're hot and you have great qualities and you're super driven with work and everything, but you keep taking your dusty ex back who disrespects you blatantly because you hope that he changes, because you're still feeding into the delusion of the beginning. Do you say I want emotionally available men because you actually date emotionally available men? Or is it because you keep falling for the potential of emotionally unavailable men, hoping that they seek and approve and see your gifts? I say all this to say is because yes, you have gifts, but you are not getting out of your own way to properly receive them. Yes, you are beautiful and fantastic, but you're not trusting what you see in the mirror in order to receive the love that you should have, that you need, because you're still stuck in your inner child wounds of what you're used to and what you're trying to get approval and win over. The second you could look in the mirror and see and make a promise of, I'm going to make a decision today that I want you to see what you never received before. I want you to feel what you never received before in terms of love. That is when everything changes. But it starts with you making the decision with yourself. And the rest is going to be like so much easier.
One thing you have to understand about women is that in today's modern world, most women are so repulsed by the average man, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why that is. It's probably not what you think. There's actually a deeper level truth to this. One thing you have to understand is that in today's world, the average man is physically weak, he's mentally weak, and he's spiritually weak. The one thing that repulses a woman more than anything is weakness. This weakness presents itself by the way that the average man today needs a woman more than she needs him. And let me explain why this is so backwards. Because for thousands of years, women needed men
more than men needed women. And the reason for that was for protection and resources. But in today's modern world, the average woman has a job, she can provide her own resources, and we live in a civilized, protected space. So what does a woman actually need or want from a man? Here's the harsh truth, not that much. But what she's still going to be attracted to is strength and groundedness, okay? And the average man today has none of this. He doesn't have direction in his life, and he doesn't have physical, mental, or spiritual strength. Because he lacks that strength, he needs the woman. So what this signals to a woman when you need her more than she needs you, whether this is in a talking stage, in a relationship, or a marriage, she gets repulsed by this because all of her instincts tell her this man is supposed to be the strong, grounded one. Why does he need me more than I need him? That makes no sense to a woman's nervous system and her internal wiring. This is the thing that most men just don't understand. They think, oh, I need better game or I need some sort of pickup lines. No, you need to develop a purpose and vision for your life. You need to develop physical, mental, and spiritual strength. Until you have those, you will be repulsive to women. Even if you're married to them, even if you're dating them, you will turn them off. Mark my words on that.
Yo, why do women and men move like enemies in 2025? Like it's on, like we competing on some shit with each other. Like women be calling men broke, men be calling women masculine. Like I feel like both sides is tired of being blamed and lied on and disrespected. Nowadays, women feel like they gotta hustle harder, love less, and depend on nobody. You know what I'm saying? And men, we feel like everything we say or we do, it gets doubted or disrespected. Like, shit crazy. Men scared to be vulnerable. Women scared to be soft. Nobody's out here trusting. Everybody's protecting their own heart. Got a lot of women out here, they be like, man, I don't need no man. And, you know, there's a lot of men out here who feel like, man, there's not enough feminine women out here for me. You know what I'm saying? But that shit ain't true at all. That's trauma talking. That's like previous relationships and previous dealings with people. That's what's talking. Because there's plenty of good women and good men out here in the world. Because of social media, it's all flex out here. There's no real connection. Women out here protecting their heart and men out here protecting their egos. Nobody's folding, but everybody craving something real. It ain't no competition, man. It's confusion. It's pain that's hidden, dressed up in pride. You know what I'm saying? And we're masking it with Instagram captions and podcasts and stay toxic slogans like we proud of losing. Truth is, though, I feel like men not really trying to control and women not really trying to compete with men. We just don't know how to love in peace anymore with all this social media shit involved. This ain't men versus women. This is vulnerability versus survival. And until we stop fighting each other, we're going to keep losing everything that matters.
Relationships in 2025. People don't even have relationships anymore. They'll talk, they'll text, maybe fuck around for a while, catch feelings. Then person number one will realize just how many options there are out there. And person number two will get their heart broken. Now, if you're person number one, understand that choice ain't always a good thing. Because although you think the grass is greener everywhere else, it usually ain't. So if you meet someone you find attractive, have a good alignment of values with, then put your time, your effort, and your energy into that person. Because you'll be fucking surprised what can happen when you water the grass right in front of you. And if you're person number two, then understand that heartbreak is all a part of life. It's a tax we pay for the privilege of loving and being loved. You can't dodge it, you can't outsmart it, and you can't buy your way out of it. But with time comes experience. You'll learn to choose better people, spot the warning signs earlier, and walk away a lot faster. So instead of worrying about getting your heart broken, keep consistently bringing the best you to the table. And mark my words, you will eventually meet a person who's worthy of your love.
Everybody on social media thinks they have so many options, and that is the main reason why relationships do not last nowadays. That and miscommunication and no trust. Because everybody thinks they have options. So as soon as something goes wrong in a relationship, they're going to start looking elsewhere. They're not going to give the person they love a chance. People think, it's not going to work out with this person. All right, no problem. I'll just go date somebody else. But guess what? Those options are not good options. So don't take your partner for granted. If you have somebody that loves you and cares about you, appreciate that and try to make it work. Work it out, communicate. Trust me, guys. The options out there are garbage.
I mean, it's one of the main reasons why my last relationship didn't work out. I gave everything to the person on a silver platter, I think that at some point became boring.
Yeah, it's always like that.
Literally nothing that you could have said about how I treated this person at all. But I think you give that to somebody, especially somebody that has a history of toxicity, and you give them something good, it's like they don't know what to do with it and they get bored. There's no like stimulus, there's no... And not only that, it would show through our arguments where I'm someone who's more like, yo, let's sit down
And fix it.
let's not yell, let's do me and you versus the problem.